Okay, just a quick piece of kit I want to show you guys today. This is my just like a little survival fishing kit, and this is just in a this is like a pencil bag. I think I picked this up in the hobby section at Walmart for like $1 or $2. And so let's look at that real quick. Let's just make this a fast video, guys. I just popped in some bobbers on the top here because I had some space. The star of the show is kind of my Altoids tin kit with the little inserts in there. You know, you can buy these inserts. There's little variety packs you can buy. These are not very expensive at all. I think I bought a 4-pack of these. Came in 2 different configurations for like $8. Which, by the way, there will be some Amazon affiliate links in the description box, guys, if you want to go check out these. These dividers are absolutely awesome. And of course you can buy the Altoids tin anywhere. So I got my hooks, my swivels, and some sinkers, and different sizes of each. I got some small and larger swivels, and small, medium, and large sinkers, and a couple sizes of hooks there. And then over here I just got a variety of different grubs and lures, and there's flies, and of course, you know, digging up some worms and finding fresh bait is going to work better. But in the event that you don't have anything, just some little smaller pieces of plastics where you can hook through there. Have a series of daredevils in here. Here's a smaller one. These are like the power bait power grubs. So this is a scented flavored piece of tubing with the hook in there. So this would be great for the small panfish around me. Got like a full pack of like 5 or 6 of those in there. And then I got some more spoons down there. And then over here I just had some small spinner. You know, you could hook through that and have some success dragging that through the water. Like I said, around here, guys, there's lakes within walking distance of me here that I could easily catch fish constantly. Some smaller bobbers that I had included just if I wanted to make this kit just alone, to just bring this kit and some fishing line. Be pretty inclusive. But well, which, by the way, this is just your cheapy 12-pound, 100 yards of monofilament line. You can pick this up for like $1, maybe $1.50 at Walmart. But got some really big hooks in here, some larger hooks for some different options. You know, maybe you find like a waterfall. Sometimes you'll have some deeper pits there. We'll have some larger catfish and larger type species of fish where maybe you want to throw a larger hook on there. I also have some lead heads in there that are great to just throw a piece of bait on and you're all set. And so let me know what you think, guys. This is a fairly complete fishing kit on its own, but you know, of course you'd need some line and you can make your own rod. But for this kit, I don't know if I even showed this on the channel before, and I don't remember where I got this. I'm gonna see if I can find a link for it and add the description, add the Amazon link in the description box. But this is just a little telescoping fishing rod. And so that is about 3 feet, maybe 3.5 feet total there. And so you just extend that out, and you got a little slider here. Pull out my little reel and tuck that in there and lock that down and screw that in. And boom, we're all set to go fishing, guys. Small, but this would work great for small panfish. Can hook this on here, and I'd be all set up, guys. Just wind up some line on there. Doesn't have like a standard drag, but it does have a little button here where you can kind of manually drag it to put a little resistance on there. Otherwise you can tighten it up. But so you got hook, line, and sinker. You got a collapsible rod and reel. You got everything fitting right inside a small pencil bag. And you know, I keep talking about it. Yeah, it's going to be area specific. I mean, if you're in an area where you're 20 miles away from a river or a lake, or you're in a desert, arid environment, or there's just not fish biting where in your location, but pretty much year round in Minnesota, you can catch fish anywhere in the state. There's over 12,500 lakes Mississippi River, Minnesota River, Minnehaha Creek. There's a lot of large waterways and small creeks, and there's fish everywhere. Even just walking down by the local park, there's little backwaters button up against the park that are off the offshoot of the river. And people fish, and the guy caught a big northern right in front of me. I mean, not big as northern are considered, but big for survival. It would have kept you alive for another day just eating a fish. And so I know it's kind of, it's underrated, I think, in survival kits to include something that you can keep getting more food with. But I think this can be an experiment too, where you know, when I want to go out and just go for a hike and practice my bug out, to go fishing as a means to an end. Like, say, hey, I'm just going fishing, but in reality, I'm out there, I'm setting up shelter, and I'm building a fire, and maybe I'm even cleaning and cooking the fish. And so let me know what you think, guys. Just a quick little video. Thought I can share with you guys how cool and convenient these little Altoids tin inserts can be. I'd be curious too if I could build a small kit in utilizing this insert, being able to have some kind of organization of what all you can fit in there. You know, of course, your 10 C's of survivability: cut, cordage, combustion, cover, container, candle, cotton, compass, cargo tape, and canvas needle. I don't see that really fitting in here well, as far as, because of all the compartments actually make you not be able to throw something that big in there. But you could put, you know, a small amount of fire here, and you could have these boxes as a medication compartments. You know, maybe just some small item, you know, signal whistle. You know, you could include some things like that in a small kit like this. Just a quick video, guys. Hope you're enjoying the channel. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you again soon here on Airborne Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am your host, Zach, and in today's video we have just a minimalist survival kit. So let's look at that today on Airborne Outdoors. So here we go, guys. Let's just get right into the video and start off with addressing our 10 C's of survivability. This kit can be used in a variety of situations, so let's just get down to it. I picked one of my lightest but usable fixed blade items. It's not quite full tang. It kind of has one of those rat tail tangs in here. It's the Baco. It's very similar to a Mora knife. It's actually branded by them. It's stainless steel. It's plenty enough knife to get my bushcraft task done, or even if I'm in an urban environment, have a pokey thing on me. Cut cordage. It's orange. If I'm in an emergency situation, nice to be visible. So there's my cutting. And of course, guys, this does go along with your EDC and what you might already have on you. And I kind of incorporated some of that into this kit, but I mostly just tried to go small, lightweight stuff. So there's my mini Bic with an additional 4 or 5 feet of micro paracord on there. Come in super handy. These are just some little, basically wax impregnated jute twine. And so you just got about a half a dozen of those in there. Take those out, fluff them up, light them with your lighter, and then in the backup emergency you have your little UST, what is this, Strike Force or something like that. Which reminds me, I'll leave some Amazon affiliate links in the description box if you guys want to check any of these items out. This, by the way, is a great deal, and it's awesome for small kits like this. So there's most of your combustion right there. Like I said, my EDC, I do have another full-size Bic in my pocket, and I kind of incorporated that idea when I built this kit. So there's my cut, there's my combustion. Here's some just a small cordage option. I have my 4 stakes. I got a ridge line, which is plenty of cordage here to set up I might as well go into my shelter because we're going to use it. This is just the United States government issue poncho. So decent full-size rain poncho. Great to use as rain gear as you're hiking, or to build a small shelter. And we'll get back in the field and we'll show some shelter options with that. So that's an easy way to set up your shelter. You're all set. Container wise, I've been having problems with my Pathfinder cap, so I ended up putting my Clean Canteen cap on there, and it works great. So I actually ordered another one of these. But I have the whole Pathfinder school water bottle kit in here. So I have the cup, the grill, the 32-ounce bottle, all stainless steel. We can process water, cook, and do all those kind of things with it. And then because I'm using this kit kind of as a long day hike kit, I just have my 1 liter smart water bottle. So can have those all full when I head out and have plenty of water. As far as lighting goes, again, I often incorporate my EDC, which I carry my Olight baton for regularly. Was on me all day today. But this is my new headlamp here. This is the Black Diamond Astro. Just a basic off and on. What do you have? If you double click it, you have the flashing. So you got some emergency capabilities there, and otherwise you just have a nice off and on, high, very functional headlight. I'm actually probably going to bring this one to me. I think it's 300 lumens, plenty bright to light the way. Safety wise, self-rescue, we have my local map and my Silva compass. Let's pop that open. I don't have a link to this particular website, guys. I'd love to get sponsored by these guys because I love this map. But my Topo maps, you can just go on there and print out whatever map you want. This one is my Shakopee area, and so I'm all set up to know where I'm going when I go out hiking. I like looking at this thing occasionally. I just double check where am I at, make sure I'm not going off course, and got my compass to help me orient my map. There's my my aviator signal flag, nice big chunk of bright colored flagging material to signal for rescue. Maybe I'm downed and I'm calling 911 and they're looking for me with a helicopter and I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I am, and I can fling this up in the tree somewhere and that'll help them find me. Going along with that, just to roll a signal tape. Speaking of tape, we have my just small roll of Gorilla Tape I talk about all the time as far as additional first aid and gear repair. And you know, this would work great to just tape up that poncho if I needed it, something like that. Even maybe tape up my map if I ripped a corner or something. Want to make sure I don't get too crazy there. Going back to the water capabilities, just a couple packs of some Aquamera water tabs. And I got my water bottle there. That's just perfect. So there's plenty of ability to purify 4 liters of water. And there's that Hydro Blue straw. I've showed this in some videos. Just a nice little way to filter your water. Even if I boil it first or treat it first, I can still drink through it as a secondary safety method. Oh, forgot to show my lid for my cup there. Boil some water quicker there. I'm talking about the first aid going along with the duct tape. I can also utilize my bandana, and this is the call it the survival bandana. I can't remember if they have an actual name, but this Ultimate Survival Technologies, the ultimate survival gear, and it just has all kinds of useful information on there, from navigation to shelter to fire to trapping to edibles, and just got a bunch of stuff on there. This one's actually pretty new. I'm gonna see if I can fold that up all nice and neat when I'm done. Just a little bit of fishing. Kind of incorporated my food and fishing as far as a small survival kit, day kit, bug out bag, you know, to really make this a full size or a more capable loadout. All I'd really need to do is add some more food, maybe add another water, maybe even not, but just add more shelter and I would be all set. So very likely I'd be able to catch some fish. I'm right on the river. I got lakes and rivers just within 5 minutes walk where I am. There's some shades in here. Can kind of use them as safety goggles if I have to process some wood, but also that I'm out on a day hike and it's nice to be able to protect your eyes. There's that bail hook that I can use in that cup. Let's show how that works. Even works with the lid. Let's get back on cam here. You got your holes there, and you line up your lid with the holes. Got the cracks there, and then you can, boom, you're all set to hang and boil your water over the fire and be all easy to get it back out by taking that bail hook, even if you just set it down like that. Nice full size signal mirror. Another thing where you broken leg laying in the woods somewhere, and you manage to maybe contact help, or people are somewhere where you know you can start flashing for them. If not, just a helicopter, an airplane. They're supposed to know if an airplane wobbles their wings like this, it means they received your emergency signal. Going into this is my little mini first aid kit that I packed out into this Manhattan portage bag. Guys, I bought a couple of these bags now. I really love these things. I use the brown one as my EDC pocket all the time. I have this one packed out as my first aid kit. Got all kinds of good stuff in here, guys. There's little tweezers. We got some Q-tips. We got a baggie full of my triple antibiotics and sunscreen and different ointments and burn creams and stuff. Got a little baggie of all my medications, aspirin, non-aspirin, anti-diarrheal, stuff like that. Even have some bug repellent here. And then the rest of it is just alcohol swabs and prep pads and band-aids. And I have my, what do you call those little closure strips. Yeah, there. Just even have these. There's more of for a clean laceration. You put that over it, and then you squeeze it shut. And then we got some sting relief pads and some iodine, and finishing it off with some gauze pads. And then even my favorite part is the nice chunk of moleskin in there for when you're out on that hike and you start messing up your heels, and even a nice little piece of duct tape in there. So fairly complete first aid kit for just a small day kit. As far as small goes, I mean, you can't please everybody, but just as small minimalist as you can get as far as a self-defense item would go. And this is the Ruger LCP 380. So we just have the 6-round magazine, and so 6 + 1. So we got 7-round capacity there. And just a tight, small little package, something that can easily be concealed, and you can be super incognito with that thing. Nobody know you even got it on you, in your pocket, in your waistband, wherever. Very low cost, but they've worked on these things over the years, and they've actually become very reliable and fairly well respected, highly concealable handgun. And then let me just show my little food kit here. Kind of evolved it over the weeks here. Have it wrapped up in my little triangular bandage. So I kind of like this thing because when I cook with this and get it all dirty, then I can wrap that up so I can throw it back in my bag. And just in my food kit, we got some coffees, we got some electrolytes, we got a couple black tea for breakfast. Still have 2 of my peanut butter packets in here. So those are about 160 calories each. These are new. I added in, I got 2 or 3. No, I got 3 left. 3 of these pure protein bars. So these are 190 calories each. These are more low carb. These are, more of a protein bar. So those are decent, especially after your long hike. You get lost and you got to hunker down, load up with some protein and get some good sleep. And then these matrix bars, these are more of a big full meal deal, 400 calories almost. These ones are 370. So a couple of those, that would be a decent lunch on a hike. You eat this and drink half a liter of water, I mean, you're very filled up. And again, to expand this kit out and make it more of a, let's say, a 3-day kit, what more do you need than food, water, and shelter? You could probably get away with just adding a Swagman roll, maybe adding some more food options, add a MRE or a dehydrated meal or 2. And all of a sudden, this is a 48-hour kit or a 72-hour kit even. So just short and sweet, guys. Let me know what you think. Oh, guys, I almost forgot. We just hit 3,000 subscribers today, guys. So thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, I hope you would consider to subscribe. Give me that thumbs up to all my loyal fans. Gary, the man, has commented over 100 times on my videos. And you guys, I appreciate it so much. If you would just have the heart to give me that thumbs up, it's great for the algorithm. If you know how to scroll to the right and hit that hype button, you can hype a video 3 times a week. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You can just hype. I do it to people with my video, with my channel. I go hype up their videos 3 times a week. So that really helps the channel as well. If for small creators, you can't hype Mr. Beast. You can only hype small channels like mine. I think you have to have less than 100,000 subscribers. So that is a super thank you if you can do that. If you're really feeling generous, subscribe to the channel and become a member for only as low as 99 cents a month, guys. And it's not so much what you're getting out of the deal, it's that you're supporting a channel that is giving you some entertainment and some videos that you're interested in. So let me know what you think. What do you like? What would you take out? What would you add? I'm probably going to take this hike. I was going to go out hiking with this today. I didn't even intend this to be a video. I was packing this up to go with me, and then it's all rainy and cloudy out. So I packed up that idea and just said, let's make a kit. So let me cut the video and see if I can pack this into something. I think I'm going to be able to get this into my Maxpedition Jumbo Versa pack, but let's see. So there it is, guys. We made it all fit. It was a bit of a tight squeeze, but we got that side pocket full, that front pocket, the main pocket, that back pouch in the back where it's like a concealed carry spot. You know, that was a good spot to put my knife and my rope. And then I got my main canteen inside, and I got my smart water bottle on the outside. I did want to show my keys that you didn't see a whistle in the kit because I do have a whistle on my keychain with me at all times. Have some additional of that fire paracord. And so just small items like that. I do have my Leatherman sidekick on me every day. There it is on my pocket. I got my Bantam 4 on my other pocket and a few other small items, battery chargers and stuff like that. So this kit kind of goes like, what else do you have on you? But let's get this thing out for a nice long hike in the next day or two, and we'll document that fitness adventure in our prepared journey to be ready for anything that happens. Thank you guys so much for checking me out, and I'll see you again here on Airborne Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am your host, Zach, and in today's video, we got a little mess going on the table because we are packing up for a Boundary Waters trip. But in doing so, I was wanting to look at just a small belt survival kit that I would strap onto my person to have with me in the canoe in the event that we roll over and need to swim to shore, that I have something on me, because we have our flotation device on, and so we would be able to get to shore, have everything strapped in the canoe to hopefully be able to recover our gear. But what might we pack in a small survival kit like this? So let's check out that today on Airborne Outdoors. So here we are, guys. This is my my original survival belt kit that I built to be a complete on its own survival kit, maybe on a day hike or just something to pack along while you're hiking or something. So this is a more dedicated and complete kit, whereas the kit I'm building out here, which by the way, I'm loving these pouches. If you don't get anything out of this video, there will be Amazon affiliate links in the description box to this pouch, guys, and it is my best seller so far on the channel. Everybody really seems to love this thing, and I do too, and that's why I got 2 of them. And wait till you see the price on this thing, guys. There's just no reason. Wax canvas pouch, big, heavy duty, great belt strip, the clips to it, so there is just no reason to not pick 1 or 2 of these things up. Also, guys, I'm really wanting to give away some items on the channel. You know, I gave away a multi-tool a week or 2 ago, and a member from Canada won it, and it didn't look too bad to ship it, but when I went to ship it, guys, it was brutal. It was like, you know, 1/3 of the money I've ever made on this channel. So, probably not going to be doing that anytime soon without us being able to come to some agreement. Maybe I can just ship to the lower 48 or something like that, because even the cheapest shipping I could find at the United States Postal Service was like $45 to ship a little thing that didn't even cost that much. So let's look into this pouch, guys. Awesome pouch. You can see in the inside here, wax canvas, original, Drio, I think is how you pronounce the name. Made with great care, superior quality. So this is just something I was slapping together, and you know, I'm always doing this stuff, guys. Even if I'm not making videos, I'm in here packing kits all the time. And so this one was kind of just a fun little, let's put something together, you know, because I wanted to leave this kit just all packed out, which sometimes I got to unpack them to even, you know,
use some of the gear to build kits out in. But let's just start right off the bat. I just have a rain poncho. The weather's looking like it's going to be warm, like it's not going to get all that cold. And so having a way to just set up a quick get under this thing, just put it on and huddle down and get out of the rain, gonna be helpful. Maybe not optimal, but a way to purify some water. You know, if we're out there flapping and we don't have our filters with us and we don't have our other bottles with us, I got some ways to treat the water. Yeah, the water in the lakes up there is probably very close to being able to drink it straight without being harmed in any way, but I would probably feel much safer. You know, got the World Pack stand-up water bag. So that's a liter of water. Drop a couple of these tabs in here. You can do 1 or 2 depending on how dirty the water is. Do your research on the tabs. I'm not telling you how to use those things, but they come with instructions. These ones don't expire for another 4 years, so this is a good piece of kit to carry along. And speaking of the water, I had enough room, and I just went ahead and threw 1 water pouch in here. It's only 4¼ ounces, but that's a lot of water when you don't have any. Of course, it's not a lot of your daily needs, but it could be something to just drink that right away as soon as you feel thirsty, and you got something to work with while you're treating other water. There's just a little Mylar blanket. We have the SOL signal mirror in there. Thinking, you know, this kit is just basic recovery. You know, like let's get rescued. We're not that far out in the wilderness to where we go, so we're within an hour and a half canoe ride, and there's other camps and people around, so hopefully we could signal and get rescued. There's my little Petzl headlamp. I think somewhere in here, yeah, I got the spare batteries. So that's like I said in other videos, you know, it's not super bright. I have other headlamps. I did pick up a new one here. We'll put that one in a more heavy duty kit. There's my compass. Even though I don't have my map will be with me. This would help me orient myself to get back towards the launch point, or at least know which way I came from. And it would also help me knowing where other camps are and where common routes of travel are. You know, people go by the east of this island that we're on, so let's orient and get over to that edge and start looking for people to help us out. Piece of duct tape, first aid, gear repair, orange so it can be used as a flagging tape. Just a small piece of cordage. Of course, this isn't just a trauma kit, you know, just a last-ditch effort. It could also be stuff that just comes in handy. You know, the headlamp could be a great backup, little backup 550. There's the Fox 40 whistle, nice loud whistle. Maybe use that 550 and string this around your neck right away, and have that whistle to be able to, I mean, you can project that whistle a lot louder than you can project your voice. You know, 3 loud blasts, 3 loud blasts, 3 loud blasts, signal for rescue. There's a Bic lighter, orange, so we can see it, and wrapped in jute twine to help us get a fire going with the tinder. Threw in, this is kind of a knockoff of one of the higher brand names, but this is just a cheaper one. Where you got a little ferro rod in there, and it's just something because it fits so small. You got your striker and fits flat into the kit like that, and then clipped onto it I just have some where I braided some of that fire cordage where it's got the extra strand of fire cord in there. Although if you know, I mean, if you light 550 cord with a lighter, it burns like a candle anyway, and so this stuff just burns that much better. And then you could maybe fluff up that inner cord, get it very fibrous, as you can get it, and you can probably catch a spark in there. Just a little backup pill case where I can have some backup medications and prescription medications possibly. There is my Victorinox, which one is this? The Field Master. And like I said, I really buy into the ideology now that the multi-tool goes on your person like clipped onto your belt. Your Swiss Army knife goes in your survival kit, and your main fixed blade goes in your bug out bag. Although on a trip to the Boundary Waters, you know, I don't always have some kind of huge fixed blade knife. And then a special guest on the channel, guys. Full disclosure, this was provided to me by WooBand. This is the WooBand G5 pocket flashlight. Having a little bit of confusion with their resources department, but I'm gonna just give my honest review. And to be honest, for the price, for the functionality, and I hope this comes across as honest as possible, because I didn't really get to be as compensated as I wanted to be, but to just be honest, it is a decent flashlight. You have and something else I really like about these smaller flashlights is that it's USB-C rechargeable, because everybody has that. Have it in their car, they have it on their backup, you know, it's the same as their cell phone. So I can't remember the lumens on this one because, oh, you got to turn it on. I kind of got distorted with the department, but I'm still gonna give my honest review. It's got a little rotating head there, and then let me turn it off so we can see this part a little better. It's got a little rotating pocket clip, so you could clip it onto your pocket, say this way, and then turn it this way, and then it would, or clip it onto your chest or anything. You could even clip this onto the brim of your hat and then turn it straight, and you'd have like a little headlamp. And then see if we can tell, there's a little knob here. We can turn it down, and it gives a little flash, and now you're in the lowest possible mode. And then you turn it the other way, and it'll eventually flash there. Now you're in the highest mode, and it is very bright for such a compact flashlight. And then we have, how do we do this? Let's hold it down. There it goes. There's the flashing colors, which that is awesome. Let's hold it down again. Hold it down again. I'm going to figure this thing out. Turn it on, hold it down. There. Now we got red, and you turn the knob, and you got green, yellow, blue. So you got all these colors, which, you know, seems a little insignificant for civilian usage, but that you would need different colors. But in certain scenarios, for example, in a bug out situation where you're with a group and I'm going to be over on that hill over here tonight, and I'm scouting out, and I'll tell you, if it's safe to come over, I'll flash red. If there's resources over here, I'll show green. If there's enemy here, I'll show yellow. Whatever, you know, you could have some different signaling devices there, and then to be able to hold it. And how did we do this? Was it double click? How to get it to flash again? It's a little confusing. It's not confusing at all once you figure it out. To have there. Let's turn that up a little bit, and then you got flashing blue. My God, it has so many functions, guys. You're gonna have to play with this thing. There will be an Amazon affiliate link in the description box. Originally, I was gonna have a link to their website and be able to give you guys some additional codes and everything, but don't quote me on this, but I think it's right around $20, and it's super lightweight. It's super high power. I mean, it just throws out a bright light. You know, you can just leave it on its brightest setting like this while it's in your pocket. So when you turn it on, boom, it's just off and on, bright light. And even though it has all them other functions, it is nice to have a flashlight that when I turn it on and I want it to be bright, I just turn it on and it's bright. You know, I have some flashlights where it's the only way is to click, 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 and you're going from light to medium to high to strobe to flash. It can be a little irritating, where this one is just off and on, and then the functionality, you can change it after, but to just be able to turn that on. You got a flat tire, you get out, you don't want to be messing around. You just want to turn the light on and get to work. So the WooBand G5. Check it out in the description, guys, box. Not a bad deal at all. And there will be some Amazon affiliate links to a variety of these products, guys. I like to give people the opportunity to check out some of the items I use. I mean, this Swiss Army knife is one of my favorite ones. Use it all to pack it in a lot of my kits. You know, you can get it in red and green, and I have another one in white, and I put the plus scales on it. And this one, I just bought it with this kind of robot looking, just cool. You know, they're a great value too. Things like this Petzl headlight too, for a decent, moderately priced quality headlamp that's all compact in its own little case. Very nice. You know, this would float if I was in the lake. And so, and then last but not least, this awesome wax canvas bag, Dio Drio, made with great care, superior quality wax canvas. You could smell this thing. It's just like, man, this thing is awesome. And then, you know, these straps are nice and heavy duty. And, you know, if this was going to be a name brand pouch that, you know, the big names, this would be $40. But guys, wait till you see the price on it. It's amazing. You cannot beat this deal. You know, I got 2 of them because I was thinking on a day hike because sometimes I just want to head out and walk 10 miles and I don't want to bring every huge thing with me, just a water bottle and some kit options. And so this would give me the option to just strap one of these on each side of my hip on my regular belt. You know, I got like a duty belt that I wear daily. I don't always have things strapped to it, but I have the option. And so that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the video. If you're new to the channel, I hope you will consider to like and subscribe to the channel. A lot of content like this, just building kits, and occasionally we get out in the woods and experiment and test out our gear, and more so test out our skills, which we're going to be coming up on doing. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget to say happy birthday to Airborne Outdoors founder Zach. That is me. It is my birthday today, May 30th, 2026, turning 54 years old. Stroke survivor, overcoming diabetes. Those things are all interesting and fun to talk about and learn about, and stick with the channel. And if those things interest you, we can learn some things about that too. But we're mostly focused on survival kits, bug out bags, EDC gear. So give me that thumbs up. Don't forget to hype the video, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon on Airborne Outdoors. So guys, going off of our lightweight 12-pound pack, I learned a lot of lessons, and I kind of rearranged it into a heavier duty bug out bag scenario, where I have a bunch of the gear packed into my Helicon Tex Foxtrot Mark II. I got my water and shelter building, got my map in there, have some first aid and poncho and everything attached on there. And then we got my 511 Rush 24 with some of the Helicon Tex Swagman roll and larger options in there. It has plenty of room to add more gear. Got my water bottle attached to the side. Talking about the Helicon Tex Foxtrot 2 though, you got space on the side here. I attached my VanQuest first aid pouch, and I got my Israeli bandage and some other Z-Pack bandage and tourniquet on there. And then on the other side I have that Condor, can't remember, I think this is called Barnacle or something like that, but it's a perfect size pack to fit on there. And so we're just out hiking an 8-mile hike today, and testing our gear, and we'll dump into this once we get home and look at what we had rearranged into this pack. Ended up doing an 8.3 mile hike, guys. That's a 28 pound kit. It's a fun hobby. It's a great workout. Enjoy nature, breathing fresh air. Had my water and had a small snack when I was out there, and just really enjoyed it. You know, between hiking and taking a couple breaks, it was maybe 3 hours. What are you doing in a day? Well, what is your activity? I mean, you'll sit in the bar all day, every day, and say you don't have time to do something. Get your life together, get fit, and join the club. So we are back from our 8.3 mile hike with this two-piece kit with the Helicon Tex Foxtrot Mark II butt pack and the 511 Rush 24 backpack. Weighing in for a total of about 28 pounds, but after I got out there I realized I didn't have this water bottle full, so we can call it 29-pound pack. But let's just say we're going to try to keep this pack under 30 pounds, and you know, I kind of just repacked the 12-pound pack, and it's like, what would I add to it? So a lot of those items in the 12-pound pack, they just fit in the butt pack itself. But so let me pull out the items in the butt pack, and we'll look at those, and then we'll get into the backpack. So just strapped on the bottom there, we had our larger size poncho. That was from the 12-pound kit. We switched out one of the Smart water bottles and added another single wall metal canteen. It's a thinner, cheaper one, but it just gives me another option to boil water and to treat water. Still got our little
happy hiker, little first aid, little modified first aid kit in there without going all through it. There's our food kit. Out on the hike today, I did eat one of those bars and one of the peanut butter packs, so I ate about 530 calories to walk 8+ miles, and that was plenty of calories. It's almost too much. It kind of really bogged me down for a while. I had to walk another mile or two before that actually started getting through me. But an addition from the 12-pound kit, I was like, well, what would I add as far as having all the cool little items you would need in this? Just to add my whole survival kit. If you haven't seen that kit, scroll back and check that video out. I mean, this thing is just packed out as packed out can be. So those two items kind of fit flat in the kit, just like that, in the butt pack with the first aid kit like that. And then strapped onto the top, these bungee cords. I had my my little Maxpedition. I think this is called the cocoon pouch or something like that. Because I got the poncho on the bottom, so that's easily accessible. Remember, this kit is part of having the 511 on my back. So I dropped my 511, and then I pull off my butt pack kit, and I got my set up my shelter, and then right on the top of the butt pack I have my 550. And well, I'm not gonna pull it all out, but there's my 6 tent stakes are down there. My 2 glow sticks, I can pop one of those out and snap it. Hang that up in the tree that I'm setting my shelter up out of, and have some lighting, a little lantern going there. So that's all just attached to the kit. And that pretty much empties out the main pouch. And on the top here, this top pouch, I have that Petzl E-Light with the spare batteries and that PP1 knife sharpener. And then I didn't even notice last time, but there's another pouch here. And in that pouch, I just upgraded my fire kit with adding the full pack of the 25 UCO storm matches, full size ferro rod, pack of tinders, and my lighter. Went away from that Zippo for this kit, added a few more things. And then in the front pocket here, I just have my my topo map, my map of my local area. So where was this from? I'm not sponsored by these guys or nothing, but you can go to, I think it's called My Topo Maps, and you can just pick anywhere in the country, maybe in the world, but for sure in the country, and you could zoom right to your address, and you can slide the map around exactly where you want it printed out. And so just because it fit flat up in there, and easily accessible for navigation, and just in case I drop my main pack, I still have a few things. And then in the side pouch here, have attached to the belt, has some Molly here, which really worked out nice. I added the hygiene because we didn't have that in the 12-pound kit. I added my signal flag, figuring something too, where if I just have my butt pack on me, you know, I got food and water and first aid and a bunch of navigation and self-rescue type stuff. Of course, I always like to have my dude wipes on me for when a dude needs to wipe. Then this pouch has a front pocket that I had my just my whole navigation type stuff and signal. So I got my whistle, my compass, my paper and pencil, my Fresnel lens, and my little safety guide in there. And then on this side, I upgraded. I had kind of went back and forth on what to do, because I just had this in the 12-pound kit with, and then I had added the tourniquet and the Israeli bandage. So I ended up mounting this Vanquist on here because it's got a spot on the side here. I can put the tourniquet, and then you just pull this down. Easier said than done when you got your hands full, but just have a piece of Z-Pack dressing, and then a whole Israeli bandage. And I was gonna see, because I think I'm gonna be able to just pop that in there like that. I actually think that's gonna work. And so I'll have my whole first aid on my side there too. So that's gonna complete the butt pack. Very nice. The more I use it, the more I'm liking it, as I can use it in conjunction with other. You know, you strap that waistband, the waist belt around your waist, loosen up the shoulder strap so that you can lower it down to where it's actually around your waist, not going around your stomach or anything. And then you can really tighten it up and get that weight all on your hips and not be loading down your shoulders. So let me kind of slide this stuff to the side, and then we'll dump out that 511 and see what we added to that. So just with the 511 laying on the floor here, unpacked most of it already. I didn't have anything in this front pocket. Only had a battery charger in this one of these pockets. The other one is empty. I don't want to disconnect it, but I'm showing I have my whole Pathfinder water bottle set here. So I have my clean 40-ounce clean canteen in there. And I have the cup that goes around it, and the little stand-up grill, and then in the front I have the lid for the cup. But that there's plenty of room to add things in there. There was tons of room in here, and I did want to show on this side of the kit something new I discovered. These side pockets here are just perfect to fit a 1 liter smart water bottle. So I had one of those in there. This is the one I drank on my hike. So let's zoom out here. So there was all the things in the butt pack over there. Remembering that 12-pound kit, you know, I just had the poncho and the Swagman roll and the water and the first aid, and you know, so we added, you know, we had that. We didn't. I don't even. Did I have that headlamp? Yeah, I had the headlamp, but you know, so I added a full roll of Gorilla Tape. Of course, we still have our Baco and our Cold Steel SRKC. Love this knife. I'm gonna stick with these 2 items, guys. Those are amazing. Doubling off of what the 12-pound kit had, you know, it had that Swagman roll, and it had the poncho, had the one poncho on the butt pack, and this one was in there. So that would be the roof. And then so once I got the roof set up and I get in there, and then I pop open and I lay this on the floor on the ground as my ground cover, and then I get in. I know I can set this up to be my sleeping bag. Got my water kit here, guys, which I did manage to get the filter all back flushed, so it's working great again. And I did add, you know, there's a hose that comes with it. You can kind of set it up as a gravity filter, but it came in handy back flushing and stuff. I replaced, because I have extra ones from other Sawyers, so I got the new non-broken back flusher in there. And we got our Sawyer squeeze and our water tabs. And and then I added an extra bag too, so now I got 2 1-liter bags in there. Did add the 10,000 milliamp hour power bank. And then this is new. I've had this nylon tarp in a couple videos, especially when I go out to the field. I love using this thing because it's just light, and I usually just stuff it somewhere. And yesterday I was trying to stuff it in different pockets, and I found this just a little stuff sack that it just smashed in there. It took a minute, but so it can really collapse down small. And so I added that into this 511 kit. More, you know, this is a higher capacity, you know, more capability type kit where I can set up a little more semi-permanent shelter instead of just a tiny little poncho that you can't even sit up in. You know, this I'd be able to sit up, and I could even do some, you know, do some work, some whittling, and staying out of the wind and rain. So really, the big additions to the kit compared to the 12-pound kit was, you know, the addition of the, what was this, right about 5-pound kit, something like that. You know, that's just got a little of everything in there, and then the whole nylon tarp, really nice. You know, this thing's been used a lot. It's got beat up corners. Some of the grommets are broke off, and so I will be upgrading this soon. Like I said, I kind of want to upgrade the poncho. I'm still taking people's advice, and I'm looking into it. I did look at I think it's called orc.com. It's one of the providers for military ponchos, and they have some great deals on there as far as more full size, and they're still less than $50. Like, I think barely over $40. And so I may be going back onto their website and getting one of those. And then also looking at the Pathfinder, because they have a pretty decent, because you want ripstop nylon, and you want, you know, maybe at least, what is it, 210T, 70D, I can't remember all the numbers of the nylon grading, with some polyurethane coating for, you know, maybe 3000 mm waterproofing, although some of them go way higher than that. Like the military grade ponchos are like super waterproof. But a decent nylon tarp treated that can then keep the rain off of you for for months, if not years. And so I'm looking at upgrading that. And also I had, let me grab this over here. I'm considering to add into the kit for the summer kit a what do you call these things again? A hammock. So this is my full hammock. I got the straps in there, and this is just like a one-man 300-pound hammock, but this one doesn't have the bug net. So I'm looking at the Pathfinder school. They have a, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but you know, good quality survival gear is worth letting people know. It's not all about endorsing products. I mean, probably get a little more honesty out of people that aren't endorsing a product, and you know, they're not being compensated for their words. But Pathfinder School does have the Self-Reliance Outfitters. They got a decent, it's a poncho with the net over the top and a nylon tarp all in one, and it's maybe it's $150 or something. I can't remember how much it is. And you know, you're paying for quality, but then like I said, then you're getting quality. So it did get heavy. If you look at, you know, the water alone, because I wanted to go for a longer hike today, and I wasn't sure how much I would need, although I did not end up needing anywhere near this much water. But I did have the 2 1-liter smart water bottles. That is this like, this is like an odd amount. It's like somewhere in between these. It's a little smaller, so maybe that's like 28 ounces or something like that. And then I had the 40-ounce bottle. So I did, well, I guess if you add them all together, I did have 4 liters of water, because that's a 40-ounce, and that's a little smaller, that's a little bigger. So got a couple steel options, a couple metal water bottle options in there. So guys, not going to do it in this video, but as I wrap it up, I'm going to go live here pretty soon. Maybe you'll see the live before you even see this one. To give away the multi-tool. So I'm just gonna write down everybody. Let's just say there's 20 people. I didn't count yet, but let's just say there's 20 people, and then I'm gonna go live, and I'm gonna use the random generator on the random number generator on Google, and I'm just gonna say, you know, hey, give me a random number between 1 and 20, and it'll pop up. I'll show it on the live feed, and then whoever's name, I'll have it pre-written down. It won't necessarily be count off of the list. It'll be what I got written down, because sometimes YouTube organizes the comments in different ways, and I don't want to go one way. I look at it, it's this time, and then you look at another time, and it's another way. So we will determine the winner like that. It's not a big deal, guys. I don't know any of you. I have no preference of who wins. I don't care. I just want somebody to win, and I wish you all the best of luck. I mean, if there's only 20 people, you got a 5% chance to win, so that's pretty good odds. And so I'm gonna start doing that here right after this video. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're new around here, guys. And I will see you again soon on Airborne Outdoors. So out on a survival fitness hike today, guys. Got my 511 Rush 24 backpack on, and my Helicon Tex Foxtrot Mark II butt pack back there. Got it all loaded out. It's a total of about 28, 29 pounds. And I can tell you right off the bat, in the first half a mile here, it is far more uncomfortable than, you know, a dedicated hiking pack. Like when I wore my Osprey Atmos 65, the AG, that anti-gravity system on the back, the hip belt, the shoulder, everything. 35-pound pack. It was so comfortable. Went 6-7 miles that day. I can't remember, but we're setting out today with kind of a, let's see what we can do. Added to the survival kit from yesterday. Made a video on my other channel about, you know, a 12-pound bug out bag kit. If you're interested in that, go check it out at Airborne Outdoors, spelled with a Z. Outdoorsy. And today it's just about getting out. I had oatmeal for breakfast, and maybe skip lunch or eat a protein bar or something on this hike, because it's getting to be lunchtime in about an hour, and I'm gonna be out hiking way past that. And you know, keep your calorie count down, keep your deficit. You know, if you're gonna eat 2,500 calories, well, then burn off 3,500. You know, I can watch my average
calories burned per day over the last month on my app on my phone through my Garmin. And it's averaging about 3,100 calories a day between my basal metabolic rate and my physical fitness. So that tells me, you know, if I can minus 1,000 off of that and eat 2,000, yes, it matters, sugar, carbs, fat, but it also matters the amount. Let's bring it all together and make it work. You've watched all the videos, you've got all hyped, you've bought the systems, all the secrets, all the shredded dudes on YouTube and Facebook and commercials, and you're still overweight. So let's just stick with me. I'm not gonna sell you anything. Like, share, subscribe, that's it. We want to win. I'm down, you know, 315 pounds max. If you look at that, I mean, I'm down what, 85 pounds from that, something like that. We're gonna get down to a healthy body weight soon. Just keep plugging away. But like I said, this kind of kit, the extra weight really does burn a lot more calories. You know, Google calories burned on a 10-mile walk, with 5-mile walk, whatever, with how much you weigh, how old you are, how tall you are. It all matters. And then Google that same walk by adding a 20-pound pack or a 30-pound pack or a 10% incline. I mean, the work you do significantly is going to increase the amount of calories you burn. We're out in the woods. We're just clicking on that first mile. You know, I got a goal to maybe hit 8 miles today. But my shoulder's already hurt, but you know, pain is part of life, and I'm just wanting to plug it out. So let me put some miles in and I'll check back in. So I'm another 2 miles down the road, and I stopped here to take a little break. Have drank some water so far. Got my smart water bottle. I'll be consuming some more water to progress with the journey. So I think I'm gonna make it. That 2 miles, the pack kind of settled into my shoulders, and I let that weight drop down to the hips, and it's been manageable. So let me finish up this 4 miles and then turn around and start heading home, and we'll check back in at some point. Maybe stop back at this bench. So hike back down to the end of the trail here on the next town over. It's about 4¼ miles from where I live. So I went down there. That was about 2.5 miles to get down there and back, and I'm back on this same bench. Got my water and my big 100 bar out because I have about 3 miles left to get home, and that's gonna fuel me for the rest of the trip. Hope you guys are enjoying the channel. You know, survival fitness is about being prepared, you know, physically. Get fit, you know. Like I said, I had diabetes, got rid of it. Had a stroke, I'm feeling great. You know, I had to relearn how to walk, and now I'm out walking 8.5, 9 miles. So things can change, and you're gonna get old and you're gonna die, but let's do it on our own terms, and let's enjoy life. When I'm out on the trail, I feel the best that I can feel. Drinking water and just enjoying nature and breathing the fresh air. So get out there, guys. I'm gonna have my snack here, finish up the hike. It's gonna be another hour before I get home after that, and then we'll wrap it up. Ended up doing an 8.3 mile hike, guys. That's a 28 pound kit. It's a fun hobby. It's a great workout. Enjoy nature, breathing fresh air. Had my water and had a small snack when I was out there, and just really enjoyed it. You know, between hiking and taking a couple breaks, it was maybe 3 hours. What are you doing in a day? What is your activity? I mean, you'll sit in the bar all day, every day, and say you don't have time to do something. Get your life together, get fit, and join the club. So guys, we had to get out of the house, maybe evacuate for 24 hours. I'm a few miles away from home, just been marching along with my 12-pound kit. There's my bag down there. Just got my food, water, shelter, fire, first aid, essentials covered, and I'm just showing an idea. Found a park bench, tie your poncho over that thing, and you're gonna be out of the rain, out of the sun, out of the elements. And there's my Swagman roll. Can get in there and be plenty warm on a summer evening. Could use that pack as my pillow, and that would be no problem. Let me get in there. So there we have it, guys. You know, I didn't tie the poncho down quite as tight as I could have, just to show one of the options. We're gonna get out in the woods and set up a shelter just like that. But look how easy this would be to get out of the rain, get into your shelter, and be plenty fine to survive at least one night to get away for whatever the reason you had to evacuate was. Got my bag, got my food and water. So we are relocated to a more remote area, guys. If you followed along on the channel, you've heard me talk about some natural springs that are near my house, and I'm actually up on top of the hill near one of those springs. So I'm about a 3-mile walk away from where I live. Fresh water, wildlife, vegetation, and I have my small pack with me. Just the bare minimum, 12 pounds, food, water, shelter, fire, first aid. I'm just right along the trail here, and I found a small pine tree. It's not an optimal area in an actual survival situation, but it's perfect for this scenario to set up a small shelter and show what I can do with such a minimal kit. Just a poncho, the Helicon Tex Swagman roll, and a few other options. We'll see if we can get a little fire going in my firebox and boil some water and show, you know, just how complete you can be on such a small kit if you don't cover all your bases, all your what ifs. Because yeah, what if I tear my jeans and I need to sew them up, or I want to brush my teeth, you know, like some things are not included in this kit. But I'm trying to show how minimal you can be and how prepared you can be. And something, what is this this Ozark Trail bag is, I want to say it was $10 and something cents at Walmart. I wouldn't miss this bag to just leave it in my car, leave it behind the seat, leave it in the trunk, whatever, and just have that stuff. You know, I got the smart water bottles, so I don't have my $50, $40 clean canteens in there, you know, stuff that I wouldn't care to just let it sit there. So let me cut the film and I'll start setting up here, and we'll see what all we can come up with to be secure. And so there's the foundation of our shelter, guys. Just anchored up against that tree, tied to the first branch there. Staked it down all the way across. Staked down the other 2 corners. And then we can just crawl in through here. And we got a pretty secure, pretty dry shelter system just for a short-term situation. Let's set up our camp a little better here. So we got our camp a little better set up. I don't know if I mentioned I had a second poncho in that bag. I can't remember if I showed it in the video or not, but we'll go over what we got here anyway. So we laid that second poncho down as a moisture barrier against the ground, and then we got our Swagman roll. Got our pack here we could use as our backpack. Got our food. There's our first aid. You know, guys, we just have that SWAT tourniquet and then a little boo-boo kit, which pretty complete, has your medications and salves and ointments and everything you're gonna need. We got our local map there. I might bust that open and kind of show you where I'm at and where I am, just to demonstrate that I can read a map. We got our water, our gloves. We got a few other things in here. We'll lay these things out and have a better look at, just in case you didn't see the other video. Which, by the way, the video previous to this one, which was a couple days ago. This is actually day 2 of me making this video. Got a little busy yesterday down by the park with the family. go back to that video, the last video on the channel, and there's a free multi-tool giveaway. All you got to do is like the video and make a comment and suggest something that you are interested in winning the multi-tool. And it's I'm gonna just let that go for a couple more days, and then we'll roll the dice or random generate the winner. But going back to this kit, guys, I got my Sawyer squeeze out here, and I was gonna demonstrate getting some fresh water out of the stream and then connecting my Sawyer squeeze and then showing how to back flush it. Where's my back flusher? Guys, I went to, well, for one, I couldn't even get water to go through here. I screwed it onto my water bottle there and squeezed it and sucked it, and you know, I got a little cap here that you can kind of like a pop top, which they work great. But it shows that I must not have cleaned this at some point. I think I'm still going to be able to get it work. I just got to get it home and back flush it severely, because I've not used this much. This is more my full-size Sawyer squeeze, where my Sawyer Mini works great, and I've used that thing dozens and dozens of times. So, and also, when I went to back flush it, my back flusher, the water started spraying out of a crack right here. So this is why you want to take your kit out and use it. And I'm just on a little day trip, having fun. You know, this is entertainment to me as much as making bug out bag videos. And so it's not a big deal to, I mean, if it's a big deal to you to get out and test your equipment, well, you're never going to make it in a bug out situation anyway. So let me dump out the rest of the pack, and maybe we'll get a little fire going in here, and we'll see if we can boil some water. And just in case you didn't see the other video, you kind of get an idea of what all we have in this smaller 12-pound kit. So there we have it. There's the majority of our kit. Just kind of review from left to right here. There's my safety goggles and gloves and my bug head net. There's our food and water, 2 1-liter smart water bottles, three of these big Metrix bars. 3 of those alone is like 1,200 calories. About a dozen Tootsie Rolls. 3 packs of peanut butter. There's 500 calories just between the 3 of those. There's our water, guys. There's our water treatment system. Double down, bring back up. You know, good thing I had those water tabs with me, because I'd have been using these till I could figure out how to get that thing back flushed. There's my compass and map. We're going to pull that in a minute. There's my sharpener and my spare batteries for that Petzl E-Light, which, by the way, guys, I'm going to throw in some Amazon affiliate links in the description box in case you guys want to check out any of these products. This is, you know, it's a higher price but higher quality headlamp, lightweight, small. It's low lumens. I think it's only 30 or 40 lumens, but it's enough to stay low profile, see your kit, see your shelter. I could have easily done all this in the dark with this on. Go into the details there. There's that whistle compass. Survival guide, got a Fresnel lens in there, paper and pencil, all my good stuff. Fire, we just have our brand new little Zippo EFK emergency fire kit. Got a little sparker in there and some tinder. We're going to show how to start that up. There's my lighter inside its little protective case. There's my tools, guys. This is the first time, kind of the first time really getting to utilize my new favorite survival knife in a bug out bag situation, and that is the Cold Steel SRKC survival rescue knife, compact, great grip, super lightweight. Man, this thing is sharp. I was just setting up shelter, cutting 550 and playing with it, and it's like, this is great. And I did touch this up with the Smiths. Just to kind of back it up, like, is this blade grind gonna take an edge with that PP1? And it really did quite well. There's that little Baco Laplander that we all love, and I mean, guys, for the price, for the quality, over the other big boys that are supposedly so great, it's like, man, you're just buying the brand name. Get a Baco and never regret it. 20-something bucks. Couple chem sticks, emergency zip, what do you call them? Zip saw, whip it around at night for rescue, or just, you know, signal, different things. Again, there's that little first aid. There's my tape. Let's get this stick out of the way. There's that one other heat sheet I had as a backup. You know, I could, you know, finish it off in a kit. You know, there's the whole shelter setup. poncho, swagman roll, second poncho. Could put my heat sheet on, snuggle up to that. And these stakes, guys, they just weigh nothing. One of my commenters a few videos ago is like, hey, I recommend the plastic ones. You know, they're lightweight, and in a backup situation, you can use them as a fire starter. Well, these are just as light, if not lighter. These things, I'll put these on the scale. I bet you it doesn't even show up to weigh 6 of them. And they're more compact. You know, they don't take up as much room. And you know, I have my fire kit, and so I'm all set there. There's that, tying that 550 cord to the stake and the grommet. You know, worked great. And you know, these ponchos, guys, you know, pay attention if you want to buy a poncho online. I'll leave a link to this one, but I might leave a link to some higher grade ones too, because I'm starting to think this is plenty of room to get under there and everything, but I'm realizing, you know, my old USGI government issue poncho is significantly bigger, but by like a foot, you know, each way. And so even though this one is big enough and will get the job done, I could see wanting to have a larger one just to cover your bases a little better. That Ozark Trail, I don't think I can leave a link to Walmart yet. I don't have an account through them, but I would check out walmart.com and just look at these Ozark Trail backpacks. This one, I can't remember if it was on sale or if it was just normally. It was like $10 and something cents. It was plenty quality enough to carry 12 pounds. Let's see if we can get our fire started here and boil a little water. So looking at the map here, guys, I got my compass oriented north, so I got the top of my map is there, and so I'm pointing north like that. Just showing that this is the map of my local area. There's the Minnesota River goes along here, and then this is just a lot of swampland, backwaters. There's a lake over here. This is downtown Shakopee area where I currently live. Let me zoom back in, and we can see just this downtown Shakopee area. There is a bridge across all this river and all this water and lake swamp area, and there's a little roundabout there. So it's about a mile to walk from my apartment to over here, and then we can walk down this road, and there's a fresh spring that runs year round right there. That's not the one I'm at now, but that would be about 2.5 miles to get to from my apartment. And then you keep walking, and kind of to the edge of where this map even goes to, there's a road to walk up here. And then there's this Riley Creek that goes by. And let me zoom in even more. There is a, right where the road and the creek cross there, there's a fresh spring right there that runs year round, clean water, can just drink right out of it. And then there's a path to walk up, and you're up on top of this hill right here. That's where I am right now. And so, just zooming out, you know, I got a great overlook. I can see the road down there, people coming, any approaches to my location. I'm just giving an example. I mean, this is a public spot with fresh water. In an extreme bug out situation, this would probably be one of the, people that don't even know anything about bugging out, they'd know to go get fresh water here if they're aware of this stream. And so, just giving an idea, though, of the things to look for. Food, water, shelter, you know, natural resources that you can take advantage of. Let's throw a little tab in that thing and see if we can spark up our stove. So guys, I was probably fast forwarding through a lot of that footage there. These little tinders are difficult to get going. I got them going several times. Kept going out though because I wasn't fluffing them up enough. But I ended up cheating and using my lighter anyway. But just a test, guys. Something to be aware of. This is a great piece of kit. I could have got it going with this, but definitely tons more work. Have your lighter on you. This wasn't in the kit. This part of my EDC. It's always in my left front pocket. Same thing with that multi-tool. I always have the Leatherman Sidekick on me. Smaller, but still versatile, functional tool. I really like that Sidekick, guys. You got your saw, your knife, your screwdrivers. Got everything you need, and just not a whole lot of what you don't need. But let's just get this water boiling and show, you know, we could have purified water this way. I mean, I only got about half a cup of water in there, but just to show these little stoves do work great. They contain the fire so well that you just don't need, a big set up a big fire. You know, I just went over to the trail here, so I'm off the grass and everything. Got tons of water left over with me to make sure I extinguish this well. But just to show we can get some water boiling fairly quickly. Feed this little thing. I got some larger sticks here if we end up needing them, but just went over to a dead tree that had all kinds of dead limbs hanging on it, and it just busted off 3 or 4 branches that had a bunch of small stuff that was easy to grab. I didn't see much birch around here. Obviously birch is a wonderful way to get a fire going as well. Pretty much like lighting up paper. You could damn near get it going with your flint and steel. I mean, that's how they did it back in the day. But this is why we practice, guys, you know. This is why I'm showing, like, you know, I'm a paratrooper veteran, but we weren't out practicing survival skills. We were out practicing combat skills. It's a big difference. And so you want to get out. Oh, that water is almost boiling already, guys. I mean, we're live firing it here. I don't know how much of this I'm going to fast forward through, but I think that's about enough wood on it already. So just with some twigs, guys. It's not bubbling violently, but the bubbles are all in there. I'm going to quit feeding the wood now, and we'll come back when it's nice and toasty. So look at that, guys. We got some water boiling for purification, for cooking. You know, this would be great to, if you had a water bottle, to heat up some water and fill up your water bottle and then bring it in your sleeping bag with you to keep you nice and toasty all night. Things like that. I could make some tea, coffee, capture some wild game. Maybe in the next couple of videos, I keep talking about it, just show some primitive trapping techniques, and I think that's going to be a very valuable asset for the channel as well, guys. You know, learn how to make a figure 4 at least, and then a snare, a couple traps to give you a chance. I mean, you see some rabbits, you don't need to catch them, you don't need to kill them. Just walk over where they live, look at their normal paths of movement, and set up some traps where they go all the time, and just leave. Come back before some animal gets it, and boom, you got dinner cooking. Fire's dying down already. Water's purified. You know, if you bring water to a boil, it's pretty much already purified. You need to boil it so long, over 180 degrees, so, you know, it doesn't boil till it's 213, 212. So, it's already been over 180 for a few minutes before it even boils, and then by the time it boils and cools down, and yeah, you know, that stuff's all dead. And this is clean water anyway, but... So that's about it, guys. Tearing down camp. We're going to pack it up. Maybe I'll wrap it up at home and see what you guys think. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. What did we learn? What do we have here? The more I have experimented with the Helicon Tech Swagman roll, the more I love it. This thing is an awesome piece of kit. Just so versatile and so useful in so many situations. I got the solid green one for considerably less than some of the other camouflage patterns are more expensive. So depending on what you want, if you can get away with just a solid green one, guys, check out the link in the description box. This thing is going to be your main shelter. Really love my food kit here. Got it wrapped up in my triangular bandage because, you know, I got to clean it and I didn't want it to get dirty in the pack. Protective gear, glasses, gloves,
head net. What did we learn about the water, guys? Test your equipment. I gotta throw this away. I gotta severely clean this thing or replace it. Looking at the ponchos, guys, this smaller poncho, I think I like it as my ground cloth. But my slightly larger poncho, I'm starting to think I want to upgrade to a full size, I can't remember the inches. These might be like 45 by 70, let's say. I don't know, but maybe there's a 55 by 80 or something like that. I can't remember the dimensions, but make sure you look at the dimensions when you buy a poncho. I'll leave a link to these smaller ones and the larger ones so you can see the difference. And yeah, you pay for the quality, but then you have the qualities there. Fire kit, same thing. We kind of learned, these tinder tabs in here, although they work great, they just had to be, they're very compressed. They're almost like one of those compressed towels. It's hard to tell because it's so compressed, but once I cut it in half and started fluffing it out, it's almost just like rolled, and there's a considerable amount of accelerant in there, so, it makes it difficult to catch a spark because that accelerant is, like waxy. So I sparked it up twice, and it went out both times, and I got tired of it trying to make this video, and I was like, let's just fire this thing up with the lighter. I could have got it in a survival situation, and it was all I had, it was happening. But just a lot more difficult. Loving this setup, guys, with the Baco, and the more I've owned this knife, and because anything you have, you always want something else. You always, it's always some other woman, it's always more money, it's always a different knife, a different gun, a different whatever. When you learn to be satisfied with what you have, life gets a lot better, and I'm learning this knife is everything I need. Small, lightweight, sharp, solid. One of the commenters brought up the 3V steel, that there ain't too much of a difference. It's a lot harder. It's more wear resistant. They got videos of them putting the blade up against a nail and then hammering the nail, and it doesn't chip the blade. I don't think you could do that with this. But knowing that is all you need to know. I'm never going to be chopping apart nails with this knife. Same thing with this Baco. I've used this thing so many times. I can't say enough about this thing. Yeah, it's the one I have. So well, now I see all the guys with the silky saws, and now I want to pay $190 for a silky saw. It's like, no, this thing is going to be just as good. Get the job done. Quality steel. I can't even remember the name of this. Might even be SK5 steel as well. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that one. But the map and compass work great. Orientation, of course I didn't need to use any rescue stuff. We could when we get out there and set up them traps, we can show them in our little survival guide that they're there, and just something to remind you. Don't forget, we got our knife sharpener and our spare batteries. Guys, this kit is coming along. You could upgrade, in a real bug out situation, and where I'm not coming back in 24 hours. Well, then no, I don't want a Walmart bag. I got bags and stuff piled up everywhere. There's my 511 Rush 24 is right under there. There's that AG65, Atmos AG65. Got all kinds of packs and gear and stuff laying everywhere, but to focus on the kit and zero in what you need, 10, 12 pounds is plenty enough to get out there and practice and have some emergency equipment if you need it, and be able to, critique yourself, your skills, and your kit, and get it boiled down to what do I need and what am I good at using. Just as simple as starting that fire. It's just so much easier with a lighter, so easy to carry. You got it in one of these waterproof cases. There ain't nothing ever happening to it. That's the reason I don't use this one. I just leave it because I don't want to burn any fuel out of this one. And my EDC, I have one, so I just use that one. That kind of goes back to what do you have on your EDC as well, So I always have my EDC on me whether I grab my bag or not. And so, I had some cutting and fire and lighting and cloth. I even had like a Mylar blanket and just one of those emergency rain poncho plastic cheapy ones. So I always have that kind of stuff on me. So that's something you can experiment with too as you build your kits and be like, okay, I already have my Leatherman on me, so what else do I need?
And so thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. We are pushing for those, 3,000 subscribers is my next milestone here. Thank you guys so much. Please, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Everybody give me that thumbs up. Don't forget to hype the video, guys. You scroll to the right and hit that hype video. I only have one video that kind of went mini viral, and it makes a big difference to just interact with the channel, guys. If you want to win some equipment, this video doesn't have it, but the last video does. So go check out that video and say, I want that multi-tool. And then the next video, guys, there's going to be another giveaway. And if you guys are interested in commenting what categories you might buy, some fire tools. I do braiding of like 550 cord. Like I make the little cobra weave. Let's go look. Like I make these kind of cobra weaves. Like there's on my EDC lighter has a little hank of. So we can give away some stuff like that. We got gear everywhere, guys. We don't need all this stuff. We gotta start. There's some cobra weave stuff. Maybe you want something like that, hang off your kit. You got tons of extra rope. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, guys. And I will see you again soon on Airborne Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am your host, Zach, and in today's video, we have trimmed the fat on our go bag, and we've just made a simplified version of a quick go bag where you're just going to grab it and go. Maybe it's not an emergency, maybe it is. You just maybe have to get out of the house for 24 hours, something like that. Who knows what that emergency might end up being. And we just have that packed out in a small low-cost Ozark Trail backpack that we had picked up the other day. My wife wanted to use for hiking. I was like, let's build a kit into that. And if you want to stick around to the end of the video, guys, and learn how to win this Perwin 13-in-1 multi-tool, stick around for your chance to win that. So let's look at that today on Airborne Outdoors. So just on the outside of the bag, we have our 2 1-liter smart water bottles, all full and ready to go. So there's our hydration for that first day. And there is a front zip pocket here. Pretty nice and roomy, actually goes all the way down the length here. That just handy, accessible right in the front. I have my folding saw, my Baco Laplander there, and I have just quickly accessible to get working on that shelter, my 550 with some stakes. Rubber banded together there. I think that's a great little piece of kit I've been working with lately. And then to just finish off a minimalist type toolkit, we just have that SRK-C and the SK5 steel. Great little lightweight, but very durable and high carbon steel blade. So let's look into the other pouches. So we got like one of those 3-layer bags where you got that front pouch. You got kind of your admin pouch, and then you got the main pouch. So in that front pouch, we had our tools, and there's our water on the outside. And then back here, we just have our spare batteries and our knife sharpener. That's going to come in handy to touch that blade up. Back here, I have my my little firebox, which we're going to see what we want to use that for. Which, by the way, I do plan on taking this kit out in the very near future. I'd love to get it done today, but I don't think I'm going to be able to have time. So maybe tomorrow morning I'll get out and just show how this is a minimalist, but enough to get you by type kit. Just a small piece of cloth covering my 10Cs. And then in that front admin pouch, we got a couple of chem lights. Great for emergencies, signaling, stuff like that. We have little Zippo fire kit. We'll look at that in a minute. We have our lightweight Petzl E-Light headlamp. Super lightweight, long-lasting. It's not super bright, but it's enough to get the job done on a small kit like this. There's those extra batteries are in that bag for that. And then finishing out the fire kit, we just have one Bic lighter. In one of these, I've showcased these on some of my other videos. It's kind of rubbery. Spongy feeling, very comfortable. I got yellow so I can see it good, kind of a bright, drops down and can see it in the mud easy.
Which brings up a point. I will be leaving some Amazon affiliate links in the description box if you guys like to check out any of these products, help support the channel. I'll try to leave a link to whatever. I don't always leave a link to every single thing, but I try to give you guys a good idea of where the equipment came from, what it looks like, what it costs, and stuff like that. There's that 1-inch Gorilla Tape with that I put a little zip tie on so that I can hang it from something. Hang it on the outside of the pack, hang it on a limb, and just have it handy. Just included because I'm like, okay, this is going to be a run out to the woods type kit that maybe I do end up, and we'll look at this map in a minute, USGI topo map of my local area. So now I actually have a map of my area. And then there's my little signal kit with my whistle, my mirror, my compass, a Fresnel lens, and then I do have, I think I had some duct tape back there still, but some of these things were kind of repurposed off of other kits. I think that's it for this pouch. Let's check out the main pouch. So right on top of the main compartment, guys, I opened that bag up and I got my safety goggles, which have my little readers on there. So these are kind of multifunctional, really great for my situation. Got a bug head net, got my work gloves, stuff, you know, I can just throw on my work gloves and my goggles and grab that saw and start setting up shelter. Of course, right away, easily accessible. I have my first aid kit. We'll take a look at that in a second. We'll pop that open. What else did I have for first aid? Oh, I did throw in the SWAT T tourniquet, and that might be it for first aid. Let's go on to add to the water system. We got our 2 liters of water, and then I just have my Sawyer water filter. We'll pop that open, look into that. There's my food box, and it's talking about trimming the fat, guys. You know, I don't have a fishing kit. I don't have a repair kit. I don't have a lot of the hygiene. This is just nitty gritty, covering your 10 C's. Got some safety gear with you to get going. And just something to get out of the house and be gone for a day and be covered basically anywhere you go. I mean, I could sleep in my car with this bag. I could run out to the woods. I could stay under a bridge with this bag. You know, this is just a lighter weight. I tried to go cheap end, but some of this stuff is a little more expensive, and we'll see that in a second. Here's that little heat sheet. I took off one of them other first aid kits. Nice full size. Orange could be used as a signal panel for sure. It's huge. Has like survival instructions on there, so it's a kind of a neat little piece of kit. Have my military USGI style poncho. This works great. I have 2 of these. One's a little smaller, one's a little bigger. I'll leave a link to this one in the description box, and it goes great over the final piece of kit I have in here is the Helicon Test Swagman roll. And so with this small kit, and I kind of, you know, it's big enough, you know, it's bigger than just a butt pack kit. It's a good, what is this bag? 25 liter-ish? Somewhere between 20 and 30 liters. You guys will have to let me know what you think. That I could afford to add something more substantial. You know, I was thinking about my military service. You know, we didn't have space blankets, and we didn't have, stuff like that, survival. You know, we had real gear that lasts forever. I still have, 35 years later, my 2 ponchos that I had in the service, and they're still great. I just brought them to the laundromat today. So anyway, we got that Swagman roll. Great piece of kit. I love this thing. It was a colder day out today, and I was like, man, I wish I had time to run out today and show how good this kit could. So as far as shelter goes, guys, I was just thinking to set up that poncho, or just, you don't even need shelter. You just put your Swagman roll on, you put your poncho on, and you sit somewhere, whether you're in your car or under a bridge or leaning up against a tree. But if you have to, you could set this up easily as a small, kind of like a little hut. Not a lean-to, but I'm going to get this kit out in the field tomorrow, and we'll experiment with what I'm talking about there. And then I was thinking this could be used as a ground sheet to lay under the Swagman roll, so you know, it's waterproof, and it reflects the heat back to you. Even though you're laying on it, it wouldn't be as great for that, but it would keep you off the wet ground at least. And so let me set up, and we'll look at the kit a little bit bigger, guys. But don't forget about winning this
Per-Win 13-in-1 multi-tool. All you're going to have to do is comment and leave the thumbs up. And the comment, I want you to say, just write that I want that multi-tool or something to that effect. And then I'm going to use a random comment generator and we will ship that off. You'll just, I'll give you my email at airborneoutdoors@gmail.com, and you can just email me your information and it will be shipped off within 24 hours. So let's look at some of the parts of the kit here a little better. So I hope I'm not driving you nuts too bad. I can't find what I did with my my tripod thingy, so I'm just kind of holding it and going one-handed with it, which kind of sucks. But here's that little food kit, guys. I still think this is a great option. I really want to leave this as it is. I could trick out the exact food I have in here, but to me, this is a perfect little way to have a container with you to boil water and cook food, and also have some food items in there. So I did add a pack of about a dozen Tootsie Rolls in there. And if you haven't seen this already, it's got 3 packs of peanut butter. What are these? 170 calories, 160 calories each. So that's easy on the go. You could just rip that open with your teeth and squeeze it as you're going and eat that, no problem. And same thing with these bars. I think they're 380, something like that, calories each. And so we got a good, it's not a ton of calories for a 24-hour kit, but it's definitely enough. I've done some fasting, or I've went on long hikes having not eaten in, like 18 hours, and then I'm going to go do a 5-mile hike. And just eating one 300 or 400 calorie bar has just skyrocketed my energy through the roof. So that could really be a benefit to the situation. Let's look at, we got a couple dude wipes. Like I said, when a dude needs to wipe. Did add my little needles and safety pins in here. We got a little gauze roll type thing. Those are great for a lot of different oddly placed wounds, like in the crook of your elbow or in between your toes, or who knows where you're going to be injured. And this thing can kind of just wrap around anywhere, and then they can tape it down. There's my little pack of all my medications from ibuprofen, aspirin, non-aspirin, diarrhea, anti-diarrheal, antihistamine, just stuff like that. Everything's covered. There's my little pack of wipes and antiseptic wipes and stuff to clean up your wound. We got some other stuff here, hand sanitizer type, hydrocortisone cream. We got some sunscreen. We even got some bug repellent type stuff in here. There's that liquid bandage. This stuff works great, guys, on all your little nicks and cuts, and not a deep gash in your thigh, but I mean, even a hangnail ripped up and it's bleeding, you just paint over it with this. It's medicinal as well as just glue, so it's like, people talked about using super glue years ago to shut wounds up, and that's what made them invent this. They made it a safe glue to put on a wound, not a deadly glue to put on a wound. There's a nice sharp, I can't remember the name brand of this little tweezers, but come in handy. Has some sharp points there. You could dig out splinters and stuff, ticks, removal. We got our standard bandages. We got this wound gel. I really like this stuff. It's kind of just says, hey, put it on everything, put it on a sunburn, put it on a cut, put it on a burn, just everything. And then we do have some butterfly closures. Love those for that clean laceration. Maybe just slashed your knife into your forearm and you got a 5-inch gash you want to close down, and this can really help you close that down, and maybe even glue over it and tape over it, because you just need to get back to civilization. There's a little medical tape to help you tape up something like this gauze pad. What is this, a 3x3? And then we did include, it had this little pre-cut what do you call this stuff again? Moleskin, pre-cut moleskin. And then I just threw in a larger piece, because it is something that has come up if you watch hiking channels, and it's kind of what got me into bug out bags was hiking bags and going out, and having been in the military and then being into hiking and camping and going out on multi-day adventures. It's so common that, you watch the same person for years and they'll never ever use their first aid kit once, but they might use something like some moleskin, maybe a Band-Aid. It gets to the point where it's almost a joke with these hiking kit pack lists that
they don't even want to pack anything because it's just never used. And so, I mean, that's the situation we're hoping to keep it in and just never have to use that. And so there's my little Zippo fire kit, kind of a newer piece of kit I picked up. Not a bad price at all, guys. Check that out in the description box. It is a pretty sweet little piece of kit. So you take your top off there and you got your sparking wheel. Got your little directional on there. And then you can screw that off and you have your tinders in here. So you're all set. It's a pretty hard fuel tablet, so I would significantly scuff that up into a fluffy little cotton ball type thing, and then get on it with that, and that'll pop right off. And so that is a great way to cover your bases fire-wise. And then let me set this up quick. So yeah, there's that firebox all set up. See how that would be a great little way to just to cook, boil water, able to keep the flames contained in such a tight little package. You know, when you build a fire on the ground that you'd want to boil some water, it needs to be significantly larger. And this would be a great way to, you know, get your little piece of tinder sparked up. You can even light that with a lighter and just throw that in there and then just start feeding your sticks in there. And this thing boils water in no time, guys. I'll just dump some of my smart water bottle in there when we're out there, and we'll just time it. I'll fast forward, but we'll just show you how quickly, you know, within a minute or two, and you got boiling water. So here's some of the tools, guys, laid out a little easier to see. That Sawyer squeeze, not the Sawyer Mini. This is the bigger size Sawyer squeeze. Comes with that larger filter, faster flow, longer lasting, bigger bag. Got your back flusher, which you really need to do. You wanna filter a few bags and then take some of the clean water and shoot it back through the other way, and that'll help that filter last a lot longer. Some backup water tabs. Again, there's that knife. You know, like I said, I'm only about a 5'9", 240-pound guy. Average medium to large size hands. Well, I guess large gloves, regular size hands. So and this knife fits perfect. 5-inch blade. I think that is the money spot, guys. I was so considering to get the larger blade, and the more research I did, and you know, the SK5 steel is commonly used in high-end saws, even, and axes, and so I think this steel could be very user-friendly and budget-friendly option in a kit like this. So again, guys, maybe this will be the first link I leave down, because I always tell people, like, where you start off in survival, you know, is do your research and don't buy all the junk. You know, buy some decent gear. And as far as a low price but still high quality item, this is going to be your number one piece of kit. I think I paid $31 for this thing, and it goes on. It's not even on sale. The price kind of fluctuates depending on sales at the time, but I've seen this thing all the way down to even into the 20s. And so that is just a great deal. And same thing with this Baco Laplander, guys. I was like, oh, everybody wants a silky saw. You know, yeah, go pay $100 for a silky saw, or buy this thing for dirt cheap, and it gets the job done all day, every day. I've brought this thing out so many times and cut so many logs with this thing, it's not even funny. Haven't replaced the blade, haven't sharpened it, haven't done anything, and it just still works great. And way better price. You can't beat this thing. I've never regretted owning this thing at all. So that's going to be it for the kit, guys. Let me know what you think. I think we got, you know, just the bases covered. You know, we don't have any huge shelter. We don't have repair. We don't have hygiene. We don't have spare clothes. You know, we're just getting out. And it's not the end of the world, but we just got to go. It's just a quick go bag. So I hope you guys stuck around this long and get your chance to hit that thumbs up and comment on the video. Comment several times, and I'll see if I can get you to have several opportunities to win, but I'm not sure how that works yet. I got to input the video into the random comment generator, or I might even just roll dice. We'll see. Maybe just one person will comment and they win for sure. But this is a really sweet. This too is a budget friendly option. I'll put a link to this in the description box too, in case you don't win it. It is a great deal, and it has everything. It's just a great budget friendly but still high quality tool that would work great in a kit like this. So don't miss your chance to win that sweet little multi-tool. Again, thank you guys so much for checking us out. Just pushing for 3,000 subscribers. I hope if you're new to the channel, you would consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that like button, hit that share button, win that multi-tool. Stick around for many more cash and prize giveaways, and I will see you again soon on Airborne Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am your host, Zach, and in today's video, I have challenged myself with the 8-ounce survival kit. So let's look at that today on Airborne Outdoors. So like I said, guys, we are presented today with our 8-ounce survival kit. That's a half a pound. I think it's a great weight point to start experimenting with what can you fit in. And this fit in the front pocket of my shorts, like loose fitting shorts with the bigger front pockets. But otherwise, this does easily fit in my cargo pocket on my left or right side of my cargo pants. So starting us off, this is an old SOL Survival Outdoors Longer survival kit pouch that I had reviewed before. If you want to search through the channel and check out that survival kit, what originally came in here. But I just used this bag because it was something lightweight and waterproof and durable, and I thought possibly we could even use this as a water carrier. I'm not 100% sure if it'll hold it still, but we got some options in here for that eventuality anyway. So let's just crack this thing open and we'll start looking at it piece by piece, and then at the end we'll just lay it all out and we'll see it all in one. So right as the last thing, because I wanted to kind of was putting it all together with how much cordage can I actually fit in here. But this is just a 5-foot hank of micro paracord, so we have some cordage, maybe not enough. We're gonna have to keep working with that. For our lighting source, we have that Olight iMini 2 rechargeable flashlight where it's got the magnetic base, and you just pull it off for it to come on. You can just kind of hold it and not even, you just loosen it up a little there and it'll come on. It is very bright, way bright enough to look through this survival kit at night and pull this out to check some dark corner or get your keys in the hole or whatever. And it is USB rechargeable. You just plug that, pull that little cover off and plug that right in. I usually just throw it in the side of my laptop and I'm able to charge that up. So that's some lighting options for this kit. Let's just pull everything out one thing at a time. There's some Folgers coffee. There's some electrolytes. Don't have much for calories in here, but this was lightweight enough. I thought a little energy boost with some caffeine, and replacing your electrolytes is always going to be important. Of course, I always talk about what do you have on you, what's your normal EDC anyway. But this kind of kit was just, let's just build this out as an independent kit and just kind of go from there. You can always change things up as far as what your EDC is and what you have on you. But here's that little Star Flash micro signal mirror, but from UST. Great little signal mirror, can look through. There's the plane. Use your fingers. There's the light flashing. There's the plane behind. The plane's right there. You shine the light right here back and forth on your fingers, and they'll see it from a long ways away. Here's some of the water options. Just have a single World Pack stand-up 1-liter bag and a Molina coffee filter. Just pulled out along with those was a couple zip ties. Some of these things, you know, I took a lot of these lightweight items out and tried to change the weight, and some of these, they wouldn't even change it by 1/100 of an ounce. So it was like, why not include those? There's some water tabs, just have enough for 4 liters. More than enough water capacity for a small kit like this. You're not living for a month out of a pouch this big, you know, you need so much more. So this is just something to get you through that initial day. And hopefully you can get rescued or acquire some more gear. So there's some duct tape.
gear repair. First aid, yes, not the best first aid option, but it does work. You know, the stickiness of it is not great to be in your wounds, but it's not going to kill you, and it might save your life. A big gash in your forearm, for example, where you're going to bleed out, and you just duct tape that thing shut. There's just a little roll of about 1.5 foot of flagging tape. I kind of thought that was cool to just unwind that off of its bigger roll and have it for a small kit like this. There is Fresnel lens. Fresnel lens, however people like to pronounce it. I don't mind which way you want to go. Being able to read the fine print and start a fire in nice weather, sunny day, which it is getting to be some nice sunny days here in Minnesota. So we're looking to get back out there and keep practicing our field craft, setting up shelter, cooking food. I want to do some mock trapping where, you know, I don't want to break the law, but just show how I would whittle some figure fours or set out some rat traps or set up some snares, and just have some ideas of, you know, showing people how you can easily set up a little trap line to kind of passively catch some food. So here's just a minor little first aid kit with a couple of antiseptic wipes, a couple of alcohol prep pads, a couple of there's a triple antibiotic ointment and an iodine pad to treat those wounds, and then cover them up with a couple band-aids. And then our last, there's the other triple antibiotic ointment. So we're all covered as far as just a tiny little cut goes. You know, I really don't think a first aid kit belongs in a survival kit, because you should probably have a dedicated first aid kit in any type of EDC and survival situation. But for this thought experiment, it's what can we fit in just 8 ounces. And so there's that cover element, just your cheapy kind of brand Mylar blanket. This is just one of those folded flat ones that I rolled up into a ball and just tried to make it compact. Which reminds me, guys, you know, a kit like this, you know, you got it in your cargo pocket, you're out on your day hike, you get lost, you're disoriented, maybe you got sick, maybe who knows what happened, why you got so disoriented and off the trail. But it does happen. I mean, there's plenty of stories of people getting off the trail and being found a week later dead, you know. So this kind of kit is pretty much, you could easily fit this in your pockets. You wouldn't even need to leave it in here. You know, you could pull out your shelter and have that in your front pocket, and pull out your flagging tape and have your water and this ready in one pocket and your first aid in another pocket, and just having everything already out and readily available for you. Let me slide this fridge safe up. There's just a tiny little fishing kit, was part of another survival kit, but I just added like two larger, actually 4 of the larger safety pins, and then there's just a couple hooks and line in there, and some sinkers in there. There's my other Q-tip. Can come in handy for you know, you could use this for extending a fire. Maybe you get some pine sap on here, little pine tar. Find a nice little tree trunk that's been rotting away for a while and still got all that pine sap in there, you know, and then you could light that, and that'd be just like that'd be a long-lasting match right there. There's my nice little needle that I got poked into a really nice fire tab. You could probably make at least 3 fires out of that, assuming you have all your tinder prepared as usual. There is, to go along with that first aid kit, just a mosquito repellent. I always think about the old story. It's maybe 25, 35 years ago. A Boy Scout got lost, got separated. Everybody knew he was out in this certain area, but he couldn't be found for several days. And when they found him, he had constructed a small shelter for himself to stay out of the wind and rain. And he had been drinking water out of certain types of vegetation that he knew collected water, and he would drink the water out of the vegetation. You can go easily a few days without eating. And when they interviewed him later and asked him, you know, what was one thing he wished he would have had on him, because, you know, everybody talks about the 10 C's of survival, and the first thing he said was some mosquito repellent, because those bugs was eating him alive at night. Like I do in a lot of my kits, I didn't even want to do it, because when you only have 8 ounces, you don't really want to add another plastic bag to it. But I did, and I paid the price for it. I had to organize. Adding to that fire kit, we have 4 stormproof matches, just taped on the back of a striker. And for my blade in this small kit, you know, it's just such a small kit. You're really not going to be able to facilitate much in the way of all your heavier tools. You know, I mean, an 8-ounce kit, maybe it's just an 8-ounce knife, you know, so what can we do? But just your SD, your Victorinox Swiss Army knife, just their most standard model. You can get these brand new for like $24. I love these things. I got quite a small, quite a collection going. It's still small, but I really love playing with these things. They're so much fun to. They're kind of right in line with the survival gear type community as far as like what can I fit in 8 ounces, and these little Victorinox knives are like what can I fit in this size of knife, you know, a 2-layer, a 3-layer, a 10-layer. And so, you know, this one has a little knife and a little file with a nail cleaner screwdriver on the end, the scissors, and then your toothpick and your tweezers. So as far as the weight goes, this is just about as good as you can get. And oh, by the way, guys, I will be leaving my Amazon affiliate links in the description box. If you want to go click down below, hit the more button where you see the Amazon affiliate links below right in the description box, and then there'll be links to several of these items. And it's just a way to help support the channel if you'd like. Amazon doesn't charge you anymore. They just give me a small kickback to lead you to the site. And so if you're interested in supporting the channel and being an honorary airborne outdoors supporter, I'd be so appreciative of that. And there's my talking about signal and navigation and that kind of self rescue type item. Is that just a really lightweight, another UST product? It's just a lightweight whistle. This thing is super loud. I'm not going to blow it because it really doesn't come across the speakers anyway, but it is loud. You're going to have to trust me on that. So then, to finish off the kit, I have some stuff just packed in a small bag, just so everything wasn't so loose. I probably could have left this out, but in honor of one of my commenters the other day from maybe a week ago, he was like, hey, I recommend you leave that P38, P51 in there. And I kind of, I really agreed with that because it's just such a functional tool as far as manipulating cans, not just opening a full can. But let's say just finding an empty can somewhere and you want to make a little stove out of it, or you want to manipulate it into some other, field craft. That this thing can really come in handy for that type of usage. And then there's just a little sparker. And this is another UST product, and let me make sure I'm spinning it the right way. There we go. Gives a great spark and super lightweight, and like I said, I kind of built this pack out as, yeah, it's just an 8-ounce kit, but I'm probably gonna have something on me. And for example, right now in my left pocket, kind of tucked way up on the left, so I don't really even notice it, I have my full-size Bic lighter inside of an Exotac sleeve, and you know that's always there every day, everywhere I go. That is there. I don't smoke, so it's just always full. I don't use it. And so these items would be like in support of that. So instead of adding another lighter, I just went with something like that. Some 4 quick tabs. I mean, one of those could really help start out a fire in damp conditions. And this, you fluff that up. These are pretty fluffy ones anyway, but fluff that up good and that'll take a spark, no problem. There's my thread for my needle, which I do have a button here somewhere. There it is. We got a needle and thread, and we got a button. Just got a small hank of snare wire, probably enough to just make 1, maybe 2 small snares, but I had a larger roll in here, but the weight was really restrictive. There's my little button compass. Doesn't work great, but it's something. It's there. You know, I'm not going to talk about those things too much on this video. In most cases, you want about the highest quality compass that you can get yourself to buy, because you're relying on some faulty equipment like that. It's just not going to be beneficial for you at all. And then just finishing it off, we have a few of the little micro chem sticks. You know, you just break those, and it's enough light just to see maybe just a small amount of something. I've used these in the military, reading a map at night where you're trying to really be hidden. We used to actually crack these and put them in your mouth, which I don't recommend you do that. Maybe it's not safe if this stuff gets in your mouth, but we used to do it so that we could just open our mouth and the little light would come out and we'd see the map as a forward observer, calling artillery and mortar fire and stuff like that. Just calculate the grids and which way we need to adjust the fires and everything. And so just a cool little way to have a small amount of light to go along with our little O-Light iMini. What was this? iMini 2. Yeah, there's an iMini 2 Pro, but this is just the iMini 2. This one, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box for this too, guys. This is a great little light. Clip it on your keychain. It comes with some spare little covers here, you know, so this isn't the only one you have if you're worried about losing that. But if you put a little clip through there, like I got some small S-beaners, and I just clip the S-beaner through there and then clip it onto my keys. And so it's really, well, it holds it together. It won't come off. And then I unclip to charge it, and I just leave this on the clip. I reclip it on there so I won't lose it. And but it does come with a spare. And so that's a great little piece of kit. Not in this video, guys, but in the next video or the very near future video, trying to make some more videos here. We're going to be having a giveaway, and it's just going to be like the video, be a subscriber to the channel, and comment. We'll appreciate it if you share it, but we're not gonna push our luck too far. Just give it the thumbs up, make a comment, and say, hey, I want that multi-tool or that flashlight or whatever we're gonna be giving away. So I hope you're interested in some content like that. Thank you guys so much for all your likes, shares, and subscriptions. And if you're new to the channel, I hope you will consider to subscribe. It's a lot of content like this. This is the smaller end of kits I make, but I also enjoy making larger survival kits and 24-hour kits and even full bug out bags. And if you look at the channel and scroll back, you'll find inch bags and bug out bags and all that kind of fun stuff. So that is what we do here, and that is what we are all about. And having said all that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will thank you so much for checking out my channel. Come back real soon and see me again on Airborne Outdoors.